Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be going over Gwennyfin and how to prepare for her release with pre-farming suggestions for relics, materials to keep in mind, and I'll also discuss my thoughts on team concepts with her. If you guys enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe and also leave a like if you guys like Gwennyfin and her design. I know for a fact that I do, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. I wanted to begin by going over Gwennyfin's kit from what we officially know for those who aren't too sure what she does. Gwennyfin is a Fire Nihility character who has a huge focus on streaming, her doggos, and also burning the enemy with her wrath. Gwennyfin's kit revolves around throwing explosives at her enemies and also debuffing them. I just want to know honestly, where is she storing these explosives and where is she getting them from to begin with to have an unlimited amount of firecrackers at her disposal? A cool thing though about Gwennyfin is that she has AoE attacks with her skill and ultimate. Her skill has a chance of inflicting burn onto enemies, and it was mentioned in the live stream that Gwennyfin is able to burn also with her basic attack with one of her unlockable traces, which means the enemy is going to have to deal with her firecrackers and burns no matter what. Another cool thing about Gwennyfin is that her talent inflicts Fire Kiss onto enemies. Whenever an enemy suffers from being burned, they have a chance to be inflicted with Fire Kiss, which makes the enemy take more damage. This will be awesome for increasing Gwennyfin's damage potential and also be awesome for supporting the team overall. While Gwennyfin has a bunch of opportunities to burn the enemy, as long as the enemy is burned, it seems like Fire Kiss will potentially activate, which is definitely a nice touch. Plus, when Gwennyfin does her ultimate, she will deal even more damage to enemies if they are inflicted with burn. And honestly, this ultimate is the best thing about her because just look at this cool animation. So from what we know so far about her skill kit, it definitely makes for a fire playstyle. Get it? Fire because she burns enemies. Also, Gwennyfin throws her firecrackers at the enemy with her technique, which hits numerous enemies from what it seems. I know I'm just going to love throwing firecrackers at enemies in the overworld, and so far Gwennyfin looks really fun, just a really fun character overall, with her animations, how she looks, and her base kit's really interesting as well, and I'm pretty sure when it comes to team concepts, which we'll get into later, there's definitely a few things you could do with her kit as well from what we just know so far. As for pre-farming though, I have multiple suggestions for pairing for Gwennyfin. I recommend first getting her materials, which consists of level up materials, the new boss material that was introduced in 1.4, and Nihility trace materials, and also make sure you have enough credits to ensure that you can level up Gwennyfin as much as possible. And also keep in mind, if you intend to go for Gwennyfin and Topaz, you will need more of the new boss material since they both want the same new materials. I mean, granted, you'll also need more books and credits, but the point is you'll definitely have to farm a lot more of that boss material to ensure that you can get both of them leveled up. As for her traces though, in pre-farming, for a comparison for the level 8 talents versus level 10, since I have had a few tell me to show them the difference between level 8 and level 10, here's the amount of trace material difference you'll be looking at. And if you're more comfortable with going for level 8 rather than level 10 because of the material cost, and also if you do intend to build Topaz and go for her as well, then I'd recommend going for the level 8 traces instead, as it'll cost less credits, less Trailblazer power to grind for the Nihility trace material, and you can also focus on other characters as well. As for which weekly boss to farm, since all of the new characters have been getting the brand new weekly boss that came out, it's very likely Gwennyfin is no different to that. As for relics, the main ones that come in mind for what relics we have currently in the game right now is Musketeer of Wildwheat and Firesmith of Lava Forging. Lava Forging is great for fire damage increases, and Musketeer is great for attack increases, more speed, also more basic attack damage. Musketeer is just a really universal set overall, and it works on a lot of characters, especially if you have really good built-out Musketeer pieces. A 2-piece combo can also be a really good consideration if you don't feel like heavily pre-farming for relics. So if you already have 2 really good Musketeer pieces or even a full set that's really good, and you rather just use Musketeer yourself, then Musketeer should be fine. As for Planars, I would recommend going for ones that can increase her attack, especially if you're heavily focused on her damage over time potential, or if you want her as a strictly burn and fire kiss supporter, you can focus more on sets that support the team as well. Here are a few suggestions I have for Planar sets. The Space set is pretty universal, such as the Musketeer set as well, and the other sets are more so supportive set, which all of these sets I'm sure can be great. It just depends what you're trying to go for with your Gwennyfin. As for light cones, since Gwennyfin seems very DOT centric, I would go for light cones that increase her damage over time potential, and possibly even damage potential. Some suggestions can be Eyes of the Prey for the increased effect hit rate and the increase your DOT damage. Since she has a base chance to inflict burns, you will want effect hit rate on her to ensure that she's able to burn consistently and also be able to inflict Fire Kiss onto enemies pretty consistently as well. Another option, which is great for practically all Nihility characters, is Good Night, Sleep Well. This can be great for damage increases. You get these damage increases based on how many debuffs are on the enemy, and this light cone also counts forms of damage over time as a debuff. So Gwenaifen will be able to gain damage increase stacks from the burn and also Fire Kiss for more damage potential. Resolution shines as Pearls of Sweat is also a nice consideration as it has a chance to inflict enemies with Ensnared. Ensnared will reduce the defense of enemies, and this also allows Gwenaifen now to reduce the defense of enemies, burn enemies, and also increase the damage they take. So now she has 3 debuffs going on. You can also use a new Herta Shop light cone since this increases your break effect, increases the damage over time dealt, and you also get more energy regeneration when enemies suffer from damage over time, and so on. All of these light cones honestly look like great options for Gwenaifen overall, and if you're looking for the most free and accessible option, I am personally thinking the Herta Shop light cone, as you'll be able to get this for free and also enhance this for super impositions for free as well. So overall with Nihility in general, they have really great light cones, so I wouldn't stress too much about getting a specific light cone as there's plenty of options that could definitely work on her. Lastly, I wanted to go over team concepts with Gwenaifen. Since Gwenaifen is able to burn enemies at what appears to be a consistent rate, of course assuming you have enough effect hit rate, she looks amazing for Kafka mains to consider on their teams. She also looks pretty universal overall with her Fire Kiss ability, since all teams can take advantage of enemies taking more damage from teammates at a consistent rate. Since by the way they spoke of Fire Kiss in the live stream and how it has the potential to be inflicted, Fire Kiss shouldn't be too difficult to inflict onto enemies as long as Gwenaifen has enough effect hit rate as I've mentioned to ensure that she can burn enemies at a consistent rate and also inflict Fire Kiss at a consistent rate. So overall, Gwenaifen looks really cool as an additional character to add to your roster for teams, and I know I'm definitely excited for her. That'll be all though for my pre-farming suggestions when it comes to Gwenaifen. I will be releasing more videos on Gwenaifen and Topaz this week and next week, and I'd love to know what you guys think about Gwenaifen. Do you guys think she's just kind of average, or are you guys excited for our new upcoming streamer? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and like always, I hope you all have a great one. Peace.